Magandang umaga po, sir, at magandang umaga mga kababayan ko dyan sa Dagupan at Kabombo Radyo. Maraming salamat sa pagtatanong. Maayos naman po ang aming kalagayan dito sa Alaska at kami naman po ay nagalak at malaking pasasalamat na dito naganap ang pagpupulong sa pagitan ni President Putin ng Russia at President Trump. Dito mismo sa Anchorage, Alaska at ang aking kabiyak po ay nakadestino din dito sa Joint Base Elmendorf
Mm.
Richardson. Yun po ay base militar sa pagitan ng US Air Force at United States Army. So doon po naganap ang meeting sa pagitan po ni President Putin at President Trump. At kagaya po sa Pilipinas kapag may pagpupulong ng mahalagang mga head of state. Siyempre yung mga kalsada po ay nakaklose, maraming trapiko, maraming media, mula sa
Mm.
iba't ibang panig ng bansa at mula sa iba't ibang bansa. So, tamang-tama po at kayo po ay nag-reach out po sa amin dito. At salamat po sa pagtatanong kung kumusta po kami.
Yes po. Attorney, sa naging pagpupulong po na yan, meron po ba naging kasunduan at naging deal po para po sa magiging ceasefire po with Russia and Ukraine? At lalo po, at doon mismo sa pagharap po nito, parang show of force, andun po mismo ang mga talagang mga moderno na makagamitan na pangdigma ng both countries po na ito, attorney.
Maraming salamat sa pagtatanong. Sa ngayon po ay wala pa pong deal can I speak in Taglish kasi medyo matagal na po nung simula nung umalis ako sa
Yes, yes.
Pilipinas. So if you would allow me to speak
Yes, go
Taglish
ahead po
so I
ma'am.
can express myself better. Yes, thank you, sir. So at this time, there is no ceasefire agreement that was reached between between President Putin and President Vladimir Zelensky. And you have to understand how peace talks work po. Kagaya ng Congo and Rwanda, si President Trump din po ang nag-broker ng peace deal
Mm.
ngayon. It did not happen overnight. It did not even happen in a week.
Yes.
It's months long of trying to attain a peace agreement. And at this time, kung nakita niyo po ang recent social media post po ni President Trump, mahirap pong makakamit ng isang ceasefire agreement at this time dahil malaki po ang digmaan na nangyayari. Hindi lang po
Mm.
isang lokasyon sa Ukraine at sa Russia ang mga points of warfare. Hindi po kagaya sa Pilipinas, so contained lang po sa isang location. So pag nag-ceasefire po, mahirap pong sabihin na, oh, ceasefire kayo lahat. Pero how do you transmit that
Yes.
to the people on the ground? So
Oo.
I think that was the problem when this entire the summit is being handled.
Mm.
When President Trump made that announcement, a ceasefire agreement might not be ideal right now because after the agreement, ano yung guarantee na hindi ulit mauulit?
Mm.
And so where we are is wanting to have a peace agreement, just like the one that was between Egypt and Saudi Arabia, and Congo and Rwanda, just like all the other and a cooperation where after both countries have damaged each other
Mm.
significantly, and we all know the amount of casualties and atrocities
Yes.
suffered and committed by both countries, that both countries will agree to rehabilitate both sides, and that there will be some cooperation insofar as economic deals. Understand that Russia has been heavily sanctioned by not only the United States
Mm.
but by other nations as well. So I think it will work to the best interest of the Russians as well as the entire European region and NATO, that this agreement is not only as a ceasefire agreement, but
Mm.
rather a peace treaty that will be recognized by international law and international bodies, and will be just like other peace treaties. I know in the Philippines we had that JPEPA, the JPEPA treaty
Mm.
between Philippines and Japan. Kasi nagtrabaho po ako sa Senado bago po ako umalis
Mm.
at
Yes.
nagpunta dito. So,
Mm.
naiintindihan ko po yung power ng treaty. So, you would want to have an economic partnership and, a guarantee of cooperation. So, yun po ang ang goal ni President Trump as with all the NATO members, because the United States is the strongest and most powerful NATO member. So yun din ang layunin ng NATO ng buong mundo is to see Ukraine and Russia come together, not only to say, oh, we're not gonna kill each other. We can cooperate moving forward. So yun po ang answer, sir. Wala pa tayong agreement.
Mm-mm.
And I'm glad that tomorrow, Monday, kasi Sunday po dito ngayon sa Anchorage,
Yes, yes.
President Trump will be meeting with President Zelensky. So parang ganun po, ako po ay mediator din. And I've said in other interviews, yung peace talks po para yung mediation. So
Mm-mm.
yung isang party, you will ask the party, what do you want? And then you convey the message to the other party. So do
Yes.
you remember si President Trump and Vice President Vance, they met with President Zelensky at the White House.
Yes.
A couple, yes, right?
Mm-mm.
And then there were certain things that were discussed. I believe that when President Trump spoke with President Putin, he relayed, the demands or the request of Ukraine to
Yes.
Russia. But of course, Russia, being a powerful country that it is, and Putin being a very smart man, he's been the leader of Russia for so many years. He's a KGB guy, he's a
Mm-mm.
CIA operative. So hindi niya lang basta-basta papakinggan yan. He will have his advisors, and they'll have to
Mm-mm.
think about what was asked. And of course, hindi naman po overnight yan na kagaya ng kung may kumatok sa pinto ninyo,
Ah,
nagbebenta ng kung ano, ng
yes,
encyclopedia or
yes.
ng mueble sa bahay, hindi naman kagad kakagat kayo, diba? You have to think about it. So, I'm glad that President Putin came here. He was open to a negotiation, and I think that's a huge step towards peace. And then on Monday, which is tomorrow here, ibabalik po ni President Trump yung counter ni President Putin kay President Zelensky. And hopefully, tomorrow, baka meron na tayong peace agreement and we just
Mm-mm.
need to pray for it. So, I hope I elaborated my answer to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. And attorney, of course, now thank you for that answer. And of course, sa atin naman po dito ay tayo din po ay kahit malayo po dyan po sa gera, ay medyo apektado din po dito sa Pilipinas. Sayo nga po natin na and somewhat way po, attorney. Pero right now, this is, itong ginagawa po ba nitong si Trump ay a way po for his legacy na just sa noong election, gusto niyang pagbatiin po ito. Pero with the tariff na binabanggit rin po natin na it is a signal po kung hindi sila magkasundo with Putin and then tong si Zelensky ay kami maggagawa ng mga tariff sa inyo na mas lalong makakabagsak sa ekonomiya. Ganyan po ba ang mangyayari? That's the signal of Trump, ma'am?
Sir, thank you for asking. So you brought three important things. Number one po is yung kahit na malayo po kayo, apektado din po kayo, and I'm glad that you recognize that. Number two is whether this is part of President Trump's legacy, and number three
Mm.
is whether this is only for for optics. So yung number one po i-address ko, sir. Actually, apektado po kayo directly, apektado tayong lahat because just to let you know, ang Alaska po ay kapitbahay din ng Russia.
Mm, yes.
And we are the biggest cultural minority here in Alaska from any given state. So yung
Mm-mm.
pinakamalaki po ay mga Hispanics, yung mga
Mm.
Mexicans, Guatemalans, Honduran, yung nagsasalita ng lingwaheng Espanyol.
Yes.
Okay, so they are the biggest cultural minority, but from any other nation or any state, ang pinakamalaki Marami po kami dito, 700,000, but Filipinos comprise almost 6%. So, that being said, mga 35,000 po tayong Pilipino dito. So, doon sa 35,000 na yun, ang dami po namin Pilipino dito na nagmula sa Dagupan, mula sa Tuguegarao,
Mm-mm.
Ilocos, Batangas, Visayas. So, lahat po tayo apektado. Lahat po kayo may one way or another kamag-anak dito sa
Yes.
Alaska. So, kapag po umatake, understand na ang Russia po ay umatake sa Ukraine because they want Ukraine back.
Mm-mm.
Kasi teritoryo po ng Ukraine, teritoryo ng Russia ang Ukraine before. Ang Russia po before ay USSR,
SR. Yes.
United Soviet States of Russia.
Mm-mm.
Remember, tas na breakdown po yan, nagkaroon ng iba't ibang Soviet states. So
Yes.
ang Ukraine po isa dyan. At kung naiintindihan niyo po ang ating kasaysayan dito din sa Alaska, ang Alaska po ay teritoryo ng Russia dati.
Mm-mm. Yes.
Parang Pilipinas, teritoryo ng Spain.
Mm-mm.
Binenta po ang Alaska
Alaska.
sa Estados Unidos. sa halagang $7.2 million. So kung ang gusto ng Russia ay palakihin, i-expand ang kanyang territory kasi yun ang nangyari naubos yung Soviet states at lumiit yung Russia. At kapitbahay po ng Alaska ang Russia. Titingnan niyo yung geografiya.
Yes.
Kailangan natin ang maintindihan na kung gusto ng Russia palakihin ang teritoryo nila, malamang gusto din nilang sakupin ang Alaska dahil dating teritoryo ng Russia
Mm-mm.
ang Alaska.
Uh-uh.
So that is a huge point to consider. That is the reason why when President Trump invited Putin for that conversation, pinakita ni Trump yung lakas ng pwersa ng Amerika.
Mm-mm.
Meron kami B-52 bombers at lagi po may
Yes.
mga umiikot-ikot dito may balloon, may mga aircraft because of this ongoing threat from Russia. So number 2 po is yung tinatanong ninyo about yung kung legacy ba to ni Trump.
Yes.
Understand that this is the second term of President Trump. Okay, and then the previous administration, we have to be honest, hindi naging maganda ang naging performance ng previous administration, kaya nga natalo si President Biden. And understand as well na during the previous administration, naging mahina ang military ng United States. Ang perfect example nito is nung tumiwalag na at nag-pull out si President Biden from Afghanistan.
Mm-mm.
Naalala niyo po ba
Yes,
yun?
yes, yes.
13 marino ang namatay at sangkot. Ang asawa ko ay isang marine din. So, the-destino din siya sa Afghanistan. So, this is a huge blow to the US military and to everyone, especially nung umalis sila, bilyong halaga ng bilyong dolyares ang naiwan at yung kalaban ngayon ay napondohan. And so from that perspective, mahina ang tingin ng international, international community at naging mahina ang tingin ni President Putin sa Amerika, kaya nga nagkaroon siya ng opportunity. Amerika, mahina na kayo. Sige, atakihin ko na Ukraine. So that's what happened. And so where we are right now, to go back to your question, is this Trump's legacy? Understand that even before he had his second term, he brokered the deal between Egypt and Israel, Congo and Rwanda. He brokered so many peace deals. So it's just adding to his resume, I guess.
Yes.
Because he already established, some successful deals of brokering peace between nations. And we just have to, accept that, as a fact. Hindi naman po sa, you have to accept that reality that we are in this situation that any given time we can have a third world war. Dahil alam niyo na ang Russia at China nagkakampihan.
Yes.
Tapos andyan na yun. So we need to do everything to make sure that we don't cross that line. And so kung if other people are saying that this is just being done by Trump for optics, or for politics, I mean, yes and no, but at the same time, so what? If he's doing it, because if it's benefiting everyone, if it's benefiting every citizen of the world, to not have a third world war,
Yes.
not have a service member in a family be deployed in a senseless war between two nations who just could not agree.
Yes.
And I think we just have to look at, the silver lining of things. Yun nga po. So kung yan po para lang sa politika, you understand that you're dealing with 3 presidents here. And they won't be presidents if not for politics. Right? And the same way with BBM and Vice President Sara Duterte. And remember VP Lenny. I mean, this is all politics, but at the end of the day, are we really doing service to the people?
Right.
We just have to ask, be honest within ourselves. Is what he's doing really for himself, or it's going to benefit all of us? And
Yes.
yun na lang yung, ibabalik ko na lang yung tanong. And for me, as a business owner, where am I gonna get my money next month? Is everything that's being
Yes,
done,
yes,
is everything being done going to benefit me and the people that I serve and the people around me? So I hope I answered your question.
Yes. And attorney, right now, the Filipino community and of course the Alaska community, because of the summit, ngayon wala nang pangamba with of course the Russia and then the pwedeng mangyari. Kaya binanggit nyo kanina, may mga nagliliparan po dyan na talagang nagbibigay ito ng medyo anxiety po sa atin eh. Na may mga ganyan pong scenario. Pero right now, natanggal na po yun na, ma'am.
I'm not gonna say na natanggal talaga until such time that we get a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia. I mean, we always have to watch our backs. But I think it's important for people to understand as well, especially for the Filipinos there in the Philippines na may kamag-anak dito sa Alaska. Tatlo po yung malaking base militar natin dito. Yung Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson. We have Fort Wainwright in Fairbanks. We have Fort Greely as well, nearby Fairbanks. We have 3 Coast Guard military bases here as well. So talagang full force dito. So grading depensahan handang depensahan ng Amerika ang teritoryo ng Amerika at handa ding umatake ang Amerika kung may gawing hindi maganda ang Russia sa mga Amerikano at sa mga karatig bansa nito. So, to answer your question, does it give relief to all of us? I think the relief here is the fact that Putin agreed to have a negotiation.
Yes.
Kasi before, if you know how everything transpired within the last 5 years, especially yung nung nagkaroon na ng digmaan sa pagitan ng Russia and Ukraine, ang dating administrasyon nagbibigay lang ng pondo, ng armamento sa Ukraine para madepensahan nila yung kanilang bansa. Pero
Right.
ilang buwan na yung nakakalipas, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Taon na. Taon
Tagal
na.
na.
Ilan ang buhay ang namatay, marami ng casualty talaga. So it's just time to have peace. And sa tingin mo, magpapatalo yung Russia, ang laki-laki ng Russia. We just need to come to the negotiation table and for Putin to even be amenable to come to the US and discuss a pathway for peace. Malaking bagay na po yun. And as I've said earlier, may meeting po si President Trump with President Zelensky tomorrow. And hopefully,
Yes.
yung demands ng, hopefully yung demands ng Russia at yung na magkaroon ng concession, kumbaga. Kasi para mediation yun eh. Kasi si
Yes.
Trump naman, hindi naman siya magde-decide for Ukraine and he cannot decide for Russia. He's just the middleman. So, para sa mga tao na sasabihin, no, hindi ginawa ni Trump yung ganito, ganyan. At the end of the day, hindi naman siya magde-decide eh. Yung dalawang presidente, di ba? So, we just need to pray that Trump is able to relay the information in his team, the diplomatic team,
Yes.
that they are able to relay the information to Ukraine and that Russia is still open to negotiation. Kasi, but the fact that Putin knows that Russia is being heavily sanctioned not only by the US, but by other member states. So, di ba nagkampi-kampi? The longer that he waits, the more, Russia is suffering right now. So hopefully the sanctions are working and they will, that there will be a peace agreement in the horizon. And I'm very hopeful and I believe that is in the works po.
Alright. Ma'am, Attorney Matanggihan po ma'am, pwedeng malaman na rin po dahil in a quick question lamang kasi of course Alaska, ang nangyari po dyan na ay nagkaroon din ng flood with the glaciers na nagme-melt po ito na alam po natin na it's nangyari po sa buong mundo, nangyari po yung mga disaster po dito sa Pangasinan, Baha, nangyayari po iyan dito sa Pilipinas. Kamusta po ngayon po dyan po sa Alaska with the capital town po na because of the glacier po na nagme-meltdown na po or
Global
na
warming.
nagme-melt na po
Opo.
ito konti-konti, nagko-collapse. Kamusta po? Kayo po dyan po, ma'am, kasi may mga kababayan po tayo dito na may mga kamag-anak po dyan. At pwede malaman kung tagasan po kayo, ma'am, dito sa Pilipinas.
Salamat po. So nandito po ako ngayon sa Anchorage, Alaska, kung saan po yung naganap yung ating summit between Putin and Trump. And dito po sa Anchorage, city po siya. So, actually, mas mainit siya kaysa sa New York kasi tumira din po ako sa upstate New York. So, hindi siya kasing lamig na as I have expected. Pero in the northern part of Alaska, medyo malamig siya. So, to address the issue on global warming as well, hindi rin siya masyadong na-experience, although we acknowledge that there is global warming, but it's a phenomenon, you know,
Mm-mm.
and
Mm-mm.
it's happening globally.
Yes.
And marami tayong mga scientists from both sides na nagsasabi that this is just a phase, part
Mm.
of the evolutionary phase of the Earth. And
Mm-mm.
there are other people that are saying that it's because of humans.
Mm.
Either way po, there are ways for us to move forward with a solution, and that's why we have sustainable energy ideas and concepts that we are pushing for. And recently nga po, si Secretary Popolotilla, if you know, they had a summit here. The
Mm.
Department of Energy of the Philippines went here and binelcome po namin sila dito sa Alaska, sa Anchorage. Because Alaska is very huge on having sustainable energy. So
Mm-mm.
dito po sa Alaska, hindi po namin masyado nafe-feel din, although alam natin na yung mga glaciers na may melt. At yung mga glaciers po, nandun po siya sa western side. Ang Anchorage po kasi nasa east, southeast portion ng Alaska. Ang
Ah, okay.
capital po ng Alaska ay Juneau.
Mm-mm.
The Juneau.
Don't know.
So, ang Juneau po ay medyo malayong, hindi mo siya madadrive kasi parang island group po siya eh. At malapit
Mm-mm.
siya sa Canada, sa Canadian border. So, yung sa issue ng global warming po, because ang Alaska po ay not heavily industrialized like other states, kagaya na Rhode
Mm-mm.
Island. Katabi na Rhode Island, parang ano lang talaga siya, metropolis or metropolitan state siya. At yung kagaya ng New York is the city, but it's not the
Mm-mm.
capital of New York. So, hindi kagaya ng ibang states na heavily populated. Understand ang geografiya po ng Alaska ay 3 beses na kasing na malaki sa Texas.
Mm-mm.
So
Yes.
saktong-sakto malaki kaming state. And kung iisipin mo sa laki ng state namin, 700,000 people lang ang
Ah,
nandito. Wala pa 1 milyon.
yes.
So sa laki ng state namin, hindi namin nafe-feel yung global warming dahil masyadong malaking state namin and kalat-kalat kami. But
Mm-mm.
at the same time, dito sa cities, dito mismo sa Anchorage, more than 60% of that 700,000 population is nandito po sa Anchorage.
Mm.
So, to go back to your question, hindi masyado feel sa Alaska kasi yung natural resources dito well preserved.
Mm-mm.
Kaya ini-invite namin ng mga Pilipino from the Philippines to come here kasi ang dami natin dito eh, or you're the majority of the minority population.
Mm-mm.
So yung patatlong salik or patatlong question niyo po, sir, is about can you enlighten me, because I know that there were 3 things that you brought up. If it's something that we need to be very, very wary about. Um, we I'm a Christian, and I always want to tell people about, a verse in the Bible, Matthew 13. Like, you don't have to worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow
Yes,
will
yes.
worry about itself. And God, God already had everything planned, and he has
Mm.
a great design. And whatever happens, everything is at the palm of his hands. So all we can do is pray for peace, pray for each other. We pray for all these leaders, that regardless of how people are giving their comments, unsolicited advice, that they would do the right thing, not only for the citizens of the countries that they represent,
Mm-mm.
but for all of us. For all of us, I'm an American, but for everyone here on Earth, kasi as I've said in my other interviews, we are this this near to having a third world war.
Mm-mm.
So,
Yes.
and I know that the Philippines won't be as impacted kasi alangan namang ipadalan din natin yung ating kakauntik na armed
Sundan.
forces, di ba? Konti-konti
Yes.
na nga lang natin. But from an economic standpoint, everyone is hurting.
Mm-mm.
I know the Filipinos are hurting. Here in America, everyone is hurting. In the previous administration, tumaas pa up to 9 point something% yung interest rate. And when
Alright.
everyone is hurting, like, it's just hard,
Mm-mm.
it's hard for
Yes.
us to plan ahead in the future. So,
Yes.
ang goal na lang natin is sana itong peace agreement na to will give way and open doors, will give way to other opportunities for
Yes.
Filipinos, and open doors for prosperity. Not only between Ukraine and Russia and NATO, but people in Asia as well.
Yes.
So thank you for your question po.
Attorney, and Pwede malaman po kung tagasan po kayo dito sa Pilipinas?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot that. So ako po ay taga Batangas. Pero
Mm.
dyan po ako sa Ateneo nag-aral nung ako po sa Manila. So I consider myself both from Manila and Batangas.
Mm.
And pero palipat-lipat po kami ng lugar. So ini-invite po namin lahat pasensya na hindi po ako taga Dagupan, pero may mga friends ako dyan.
All right.
Po.
Yes. Ma'am, maraming salamat po sa mga impormasyon po na yan na inyo pong ibinahagi po sa atin, lalo na po sa ating po mga kababayan po na may mga kamag-anak po dyan mismo sa Alaska. Ma'am, may mga gusto po kayong sabihin pa po. Of course, ang ating pong inaabangan po bukas na sana maging maganda po yung deal po na ito at para world peace.
World peace. So, number one po, ang hinihingi ko lang po on behalf of the Filipinos, not only here in Alaska but here in the US, sana po ay si President Bongbong Marcos will take center stage in trying to protect our fellow Filipinos in the midst of this war or this disagreements between Ukraine and Russia. And not only that, the government of the Philippines to focus on what matters. Because what matters is making sure that we are doing what is right for our fellow Filipinos.
Mm-mm.
Politicking and trying to remove somebody from their position wouldn't benefit as much, it doesn't make sense for everyone, to watch politicians eat each other and throw mud. It doesn't help the Filipino people. So if we can just focus on trying to assist our kababayans, our OFWs as well, our modern day heroes, kasi sila nagpapadala ng malaking porsyento ng GDP, 'di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Tulungan lang. And then a second point po is we have a lot of work opportunities for Filipinos here in Alaska. So, if the economy of the Philippines is not really benefiting our fellow Filipinos, maybe it's time for you to look for work opportunities abroad and maybe you can look into Alaska. Third po is we have a very strong ties to the leadership here in Alaska. So sa Department of Labor of State of Alaska po, and I'm so very happy na ating kababayan sa Batangas sa Deputy Commissioner Nelson San Juan, and he's a Filipino po, and we have a lot of Filipinos in positions of leadership here in Alaska.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it is a good thing for Filipinos to look into. I'm not saying where because I just can't endorse any specific person because of
Yes.
I'm in the Chamber of Commerce. But for Filipinos, if you would want to work abroad, Alaska is a good place for Filipinos. Marami po tayo ditong mga Pilipino at nakaantabay lang po kami para tumulong pagdating niyo po dito. We will be happy to welcome you with open arms. Mag-reach out lang po kayo sa Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce of Alaska or kahit sa PhilAm Legal Services. My law firm here in Alaska, ang nag-iisang kakampi na law firm sa Alaska. And lastly po, maraming salamat sa mga broadcaster na kagaya niyo, sir, at Bombo Radio sa pagsisiwalat ng totoong balita at serbisyong publiko. Malaking bagay po yan para sa mga Pilipino, not only in the Philippines, but here. So maraming salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Attorney